Hello, I'm Mike Gordon, and welcome back to my perfect playthrough of Tecmo Super Bowl for the Sega Genesis. And, last time we defeated the Cincinnati Bengals by a score of 16-0 with the Cleveland Browns. And by the way, the vast majority of that game was 9-0, with just a single touchdown during garbage time to close things out. Man, that was pitiful. But this next team is so freaking busted, the Philadelphia Eagles, that I have to resort to rather drastic efforts if I even want to think about winning the game. Because the Eagles are probably one of the best teams in all of football in Tecmo Super Bowl. So, yeah. So I have to try to. So I literally have to make these sorts of selections here. I'm just gonna sabotage the Eagles. That's what I'm doing. So yeah, this is my that's my strategy. Sabotage the fuck out of the Eagles. So the Browns actually have a shot at winning this. And I'm just gonna let the clock wind down because I don't want this to go on too long. Let's do. First down. Ah, shit. Tony Vardell's injured. Fuck. I'm gonna have to go with Wolfie here. Man, god damn it. Got him. Alright. That was stupid. Holy shit, I completed a touchdown pass! Barry Kosar actually found the end zone. And though I had to go the onside kick route with the Eagles, I actually. Finally. was just gonna stand there like an idiot anyways. And just like that, we got another safety. All right, we are in business. God damn it. These Eagles defenders are way too good. Alright, we got him! Another touchdown pass. Thanks, Michael Jackson. Ooh! A doink. Alright, I'm gonna... Yeah, I'm just gonna do that. Alright, that will be our first punt return. I think this game would be kind of boring. I have a suitable enough lead that I can probably just play the game normally. Um, at least as normally as I could, given that one defense on each side will be compromised. He likes doing curls, so... Right, he probably has to go that way. And meanwhile, with an 18-0 lead, that frees up the running game. A 50-50 shot. I mean, they're hitting Wolfie bad. Yeah, that made perfect sense. Now we have to assume a passing play. And we have to sell for a field goal. Hopefully this makes it through the uprights. Good, perfect. 21-0. We're up 3 whole scores. Alright, Yep, our defense is still pretty elite. So long as we clear a lane, so, Wow, they blew a ton of yards here. Alright, let's do this. Wow! We made the stop again. But we're down 3 scores, so we have to go for it. Let's do you, Randall Cunningham. And we are going to try to stop Stacy. Let's go down here and wow. Incomplete pass. Alright, we're going to try to rush Randall Cunningham. And we got sacked anyways. And this is the most obvious play we can make. And now we have no choice but to punt. We're 4th and 28. We are. Ah, shit, I missed my timing. Alright, so I'm gonna try. Ooh, which play would I go with? This one. Close one. Pop up. So yeah, I'm just gonna have to keep hitting the rush. So I'm gonna rush this one and let the clock run out. We're up 3 scores, but it's a very uneasy lead. 48 yards rushing, 47 yards passing, including 2 touchdown passes. Meanwhile, for Cleveland, Philly has 16 yards rushing and 0 yards passing, with only 1 attempt. And I missed the onside. So, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to trust on the running game. Wolfie's kind of useless, so obviously I'm going to stomp Metcalf. And the next play will be... Yeah, we're going to just keep hammering Metcalf. And Wolfie got us our first down. Alright, so we know what this guy's got to play now. Metcalf to Metcalf. And incomplete pass. I'm actually going to try handing it off to Wolfie again. And the reason I'm doing this is so I don't get pushed back any further. Field goal time. Please be between the uprights. Good. So now it's 8 scores we're up by. And we have to pick apart the passing attack now. Ah, shit. And a clear lane for Randall Cunningham, only for him to get dogpiled. We need a... Nope. We need to complete some passes, though. If the Eagles is to have any chance of beating... Oh! Interception! Wow. You know what? Let's just... I think at this point the Eagles are about ready to throw in the towel. Alright, and there we are. This is a pretty far field goal, by Brown standards. I think this is gonna whiff. Yep. Wow, the Eagles receiver still can't. Was wide open and he still whiffed. Alright, let's do this one. Wow, I can't. Rail Kaihan can't get a single pass off. And it is painfully obvious what play you're just gonna try next. At this point, we have no choice but to punt. And punt as deep into Browns territory as we could. Well, as the Eagles can. Alright. So yeah, I had to resort to some cheating here. Well, what can you do? Oops, I pressed the wrong button. What I meant to do was stuff Metcalf. And I don't have to do anything. And another deep punt. Back-to-back punts. And what play should we go next? And wow. Hey, oh hey little guy. Ugly. Sorry, the cat's, one of the cats is down here. You just check out what I'm doing. You want to know who won last night? Well, it was the Falcons. Yeah, the Eagles had that one won. They were effectively a brick wall, and then they just choked and collapsed. Alright, let's see. They have to pass. They have to complete a pass. And he's literally rushing his passes, and I'm gonna go this way. The Eagles absolutely need to complete a pass. And this is the most obvious play in the world. And the Browns score another touchdown. David Brandon with the strip sack return for a touchdown. We absolutely manhandled the Eagles, man. I hate the fucking Eagles. Alright, and... and now it's... he's just... Randall Cunningham's just throwing interceptions. Yeah, we're not gonna bother chase after Wolfie. He sucks. So we'll be chased after Metcalf. And just like that, we have to kick another field goal. But that's fine. Please be right. Wow, I way whiffed. You know what? I think at this point the Eagles have to just concede the loss. They want to get out of here, so Randall Cunningham will just be completing a bunch of rushes the rest of the way because there's no chance in hell the Eagles can come. This is a miserable day for Philly fans. And yeah, game's basically over. By a final score of 31-0. With Cleveland achieving 75 yards of rushing versus Philly's 58, though Philly failed to complete a single pass in 9 attempts, and actually threw 2 interceptions, Bernie Kosar actually completed half of his 4 passes, both for touchdowns. Absolutely triumphant. And we can probably remove Philly from the team exercise. And if I struggle, and if I continue struggling against other teams and can't get anything going, that's what I'm going to do from here on out. So I'm going to skip I'm going to skip all the way to the end of week 12 because this is the next Cleveland game. Denver won, beat the Raiders. Dallas beat the Oilers. Jets beat the Colts. Rams beat the Chiefs. Dolphins beat the Patriots. Chargers beat the Seahawks. Redskins beat the Falcons. Vikings beat the Bears. Bucks beat the Lions. Niners beat the Saints. Eagles beat the Giants. Wow. Pittsburgh beat the Redskins. Bucks winning big in quite a few of these games. And I'm just skipping to our next game for the next episode. So yeah, This is where we are, last game of the week. And the NFL standings, looks like Bills are just a win and a Dolphins loss away from clinching their division title by a landslide. The Dolphins seem to be in healthy condition for a playoff push. The the Cleveland Browns are 2.5 games up over the Steelers, while the Oilers are just hanging in there at 5-5. Bengals, however, are still a miserable bunch. And finally, the Broncos have claimed the AFC West lead over the Raiders. Though the Raiders and Chargers and Seahawks are all surprisingly enough still very much in playoff contention. While which means maybe not the Seahawks, but they're a long shot. This basically puts the Oilers' season in jeopardy of missing out altogether, since there's a lot of competition ahead of them. Meanwhile, in the NFC East, in spite their blowout loss to the Browns earlier today, they are still a game up on the Cowboys, and are still putting their foot on the gas. The Redskins, who actually won the Super Bowl, are way out the year in dominant fashion, are completely out of playoff contention at this point. But then again, it's the 93 roster, not the 91 roster. Vikings are up a game and a half over the Lions and Bucks, though they are both coming back. But both teams are attempting a comeback here. Packers and Bears are pretty far behind, but they're not totally out of the woods just yet. Finally, we have the NFC West, which is an absolutely dominant unit, though surprisingly, the Falcons, who made the most out of this season that year, are the ones losing, whereas the Rams, who were completely miserable during that time, are winning. I do think if the playoffs were to start right now, the Bills, Dolphins, Browns, Steelers, Broncos, and Raiders would for sure be playoff teams in the AFC. And in the NFC West, it'd be Niners, Saints, Rams, Vikings, Eagles, and Cowboys. Absolute madness. But we have to play we have to play host to our division rival, the Houston Oilers, whose entire season's basically hanging in the balance right now. And the remainder of our schedule is not going to be easy at all. We have to play the Chiefs, Colts, and while the Colts are easy, they still have to play the Chiefs, the Broncos, Oilers again, and the Steelers to close out the season. We still have three playoff teams plus a team looking to make the playoffs. Oh. So yeah, what will the last game of the What exactly will the last game of Week 12 hold for us? Well, tune in to find out. And since I held off on filming this episode until Week 3 of the 2024 NFL season, Week 2. Sorry. I'm gonna make some predictions on who I think will win next week. Let me do scores and schedules. Jump up a week later. on, let's go. Patriots at the Jets. This is kind of interesting because the Patriots are a bit of an elite defensive unit, starting over from scratch versus the Jets. Honestly, I think the big advantage the Jets have over the Patriots is that the Jets have Aaron Rodgers, a seasoned veteran. And though I don't think it's going to be that cut and dry, I do think that it is enough of a difference maker to give the Jets the advantage over the Patriots' rookie quarterback. Or Jacoby Brissett. So that's what I'm going to pick. I'm picking the Jets to beat the Patriots. Browns at the Giants. The Giants' offense is absolutely putrid. And all Deshaun Watson has to... And even though Deshaun Watson is a shell of his former self and is nothing short of a disgrace, all he has to do is not screw up, and I think the Browns will have the advantage there. Packers at the Titans. Honestly, even though I think the Packers have a much stronger roster, they are still without Jordan Love. So if the Titans can't win this season, Tennessee, you're in for a long haul. So far, I'm picking all home teams here. But I do think... I don't know what to make of the Colts. It's like Anthony Richardson is not... It's almost like Anthony Richardson had wilted following a season-ending injury the season prior. They haven't really been all that competitive. And meanwhile, the Bears have an exciting top draft pick at QB who hasn't done a whole lot in an elite defense. I think so long as their rookie QB doesn't screw up badly, they could pull off the win here. But it's again not totally cut and dry. Come on. Texans at the Vikings. The Vikings are off to a pretty hot explosive start. So this will be a first true challenge for the Texans. And I do think what ultimately I have to give the team what I will ultimately have to favor is again the quarterback position. This is a young upstart Texans team looking to actually build off their surprising 2023 season and are probably gunning for a Super Bowl this year. So I'm going to pick the Texans. Meanwhile, the Eagles have pretty much continued where they left off last season in free fall, overthinking their decision, full-blown tilt. And the Saints suddenly find themselves completely red hot, thanks to a brand new offensive coordinator. I think I will pick the Saints to keep the hot streak going. And the Steelers have not really been challenged so far this year, so this season. So it'll be interesting to see how they fare against Justin Herbert. While I do think, you can't fully count out the Steelers, I gotta give the slight edge to the LA Chargers to win this one. And hopefully continue to challenge the Chiefs for the AFC West. Speaking of AFC West, my Denver Broncos have to travel to Tampa Bay. Boy, the NFL sure did its damn hardest to screw the Broncos over to start the season. Hey, let's pair them up with 3 playoff contenders in the Seahawks, Steelers, and Buccaneers to start the season. And make the easier teams the teams that have it so the Broncos actually have to travel to the easier locations while they host the more difficult teams. Crumb and Netley, man. Honestly, the Broncos are basically starting over from scratch. I don't think they're the worst team in football, not by a long shot. But I can't pick the Broncos against the Bucs. Carolina Panthers, Las Vegas Raiders. The Panthers haven't shown capable of doing. The Panthers haven't shown to capable of doing fuck all since the 2018 season. So I have to pick the Vegas Raiders to win this one. Miami Dolphins at Seattle Seahawks. I have to pick the Seahawks. Dolphins will be playing without Tua for quite a while, and it's in Seattle. So, I don't know. I have a hunch that the Dolphins are in for a really long and brutal season and I don't even know if Tua's gonna ever be able to come back from this. He really needs to retire. I think his agent and probably some of the medical experts in this field are probably gonna strongly recommend that he has to retire. And to think they just paid him a monster contract. Baltimore Ravens at the Dallas Cowboys. The Ravens are off to a pretty rough start at 0-2, but honestly, I think I have far more faith that the Baltimore Ravens will finally get back into the win column than I am at the Cowboys beating a quality opponent. So I have to pick So I'm picking the Baltimore Ravens, but it is a bit of a toss-up. San Francisco 49ers at the Los Angeles Rams. I think if there's any shot of the Rams turning their season around and proving that they do indeed have the right stuff, it is here and now. They have to win this game if they have any shot at making the playoffs. But I do think the LA Rams are a bit of an over-the-hill game right now. Matthew Stafford would have to be 37-38 right now. So he's getting up there where he would probably have to seriously considering retiring. I mean, he's got a Super Bowl ring for what it's worth. But, I don't know, is the Niners really that great a team this year? With the Super Bowl hangover? I don't know. That's definitely a genuine I have no idea pick, but I'm going to go with my gut instinct and pick the Niners. And Detroit Lions, Arizona Cardinals. These are both really interesting teams. As I do think the Cardinals have shown that they are a bit of a force to be reckoned with. Both teams are 1-1. The Lions had a bit of a meltdown against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but the Bucs have a pretty stingy defense, all things considered. The Cardinals do not. The Cardinals are much more of an offensive unit. I think I have to give the edge to Arizona here based on what I've seen. And yes, this is the same Lions team that choked away a shot at the Super Bowl last year, which is a damn shame, but I don't know. I think the Lions are going to be challenged big time this season. They have to prove it to me, and they haven't really done that so far. I'm picking the Cardinals to win this. Kansas City Chiefs at the Atlanta Falcons. The Chiefs are notoriously red hot in September, but it's not like they have been an especially sexy pick. Like, both their wins were off of collapses from the Bengals and Ravens, honestly. Like, both of them absolutely choked when it mattered most. But the Falcons, Kirk Cousins been kind of, I don't know what kind of Kirk Cousins we're gonna get. The Falcons have not been playing up to expectations at all the past few seasons. But Kirk Cousins is definitely a pretty clutch quarterback based on what I know with this whole career trajectory. I think the Chiefs is the money bet still, but I would not be surprised if the Falcons pull the upset here. Jacksonville Jaguars, Buffalo Bills. I'm picking the Buffalo Bills. Why is this a Monday night game? I have no idea. Because the Jaguars have been pretty terrible so far. The Commies at the Bengals. The Commies are 1-1. The Bengals are 0-2. And outside the Baltimore Ravens, I feel more confident in the Bengals getting a win in week 3 than any other team who's currently winless. The Commies' one win was an exercise of ineptitude against the Giants, where they could not find the end zone to save their lives. I do think the one benefit that in the Commies' favor, though, is the fact that the Bengals have basically no offensive line. They haven't had a single quality offensive line in the Joe Burrow era, which is all the more shocking that they actually reached the Super Bowl in 2021 without an offensive line. So if the Commies are able to put up a ton of defensive pressures, I could see them pull the upset, but I don't know, I think the Commies are more hungry. Anyways, that's it for today. I was rambling on for a bit too long. Wow, I should cut down on this going forward. Anyways, next time we will be taking on the Houston Oilers. Leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. I greatly appreciate it. With all out of the way, this is Mike Gordon, sign out.